Sneakin'. How are you? Help if I put it on right, wouldn't it?
This is crazy. I've never seen one.
It's a party. Didn't you get the memo?
This is awesome.
It's
No,
a
I
party.
did. I did.
Oh, it's Saturday night party morning.
I know.
Your energy was drawn. I want the party. Hi, Austin and Briala.
Briala,
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Glad to have you here this morning. Go there. Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandham Pushtivardhanam Udvar Kamavibandhanam Mityur Moksham Amratat Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandham Pushtivardhanam Udvar Kamavibandhanam Mityur Moksham Amratat Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandham Pushtivardhanam Udvar Kamavibandhanam Mityur Moksha Mamrata. A calling to our mats to find ourselves in a place of ease and silent surrender for a moment or two as we settle into the space of the room, of our mat, of our being, and of today's practice. So with your eyes closed, sitting nice and tall in an easy cross-legged seated position, finding your sits bones, the little bony protrusion at the bottom of your pelvic bones. It's in front of where the fleshy part of your bum is. Allowing yourself to sit up over top of the sits bones so that there's an opportunity for your spine to open, space for you to create a sense of balance between the crown of the head at the highest end of the inner line of your body of energy and the pelvic floor at the lower end, as though one is stacking over the other. And taking some good deep breaths here, feeling the breath and the movements, feeling the sense of openness that your breath starts to give you here. So maybe stretch out the inhale bigger, fuller, wider, deeper than you normally would in an everyday breath. And feel an equal length of breathing all the way out through the exhale. It's what we call samavritti breathing, same, equal on the inhale, equal on the exhale. Give yourself permission to feel that inhale grounding you down into the earth. So as we inhale, our diaphragm drops. So it literally is a downward action, rooting ourselves into Earth's energy. And then as the exhale, our abdominal muscles draw in and lift and help push the air out, the diaphragm drawing up. Keep going for that awareness as you breathe here for the next moment or two, knowing that we always ground, we always root down, we always reach into the earth so that we're anchored for that next exhale, which is our expansion back out through our body and also energetically out into the world. Keep that flow. Inhale, rooting down, grounding, reaching the sits bones down to the floor. Exhale, your abdominal muscles draw in, diaphragm inside your rib cage draws in and up, and you feel your spine grow taller. You are literally behaving like nature. When a seed is planted in the ground, the first thing it does is it breaks apart and roots down so that there's an anchor stabilizing for the growth that's about to happen. 2 more breaths. And I encourage you to allow your breath to be this anchor through your whole practice. Every bit of motion in life is predicated upon have you first grounded. Are you really anchored, not standing on the earth, but into the earth? The energy of the earth is alive and living and vibrant. And we use that as the way we stay stable in our lives. Now reaching the arms forward and crossing and then separating the arms and reaching overhead. Feel the lift here. Let the shoulder blades drop. Have the little finger side of your hand pointing forward, the thumb side pointing back. A sense of anchoring through the sits bones, the tailbone, but yet an uplift through your ribs. Feeling all the space between the ribs and the hips. Take another big inhale, rooting down. And as you exhale, bow forward, out and over. Bring the palms to the floor out in front of your body. Giving your spine a nice little stretch to start here. Letting your head hang to wherever it feels most comfortable. Feeling the breath maybe now widen into the ribs, into the back side body. Using this as an opportunity once again to explore space in your body that might not normally be open or available in your unconscious everyday breathing. I also love in the beginning of practice to use this as an opportunity to bow down and let go of whatever it is that might have been loaded onto me during the week or maybe even in life so that I can really fully be present. Set down your mental distractions, your mind space that is blocking you, and just be here. Stay where you are, but now turn your palms up to the ceiling. This is a practice of energy and of love, and yes, our bodies. But within all that, what you'll realize is it's all an undoing to truly come into a place where we are remembering that we are all connected through a divine energy of love. So think of someone you know that could use a loving thought or blessing or image coming into their mind, into their being, and send that off to them. Freely, joyously, without any restrictions, anything that stops you from thinking there's a condition on that love. No strings attached. Turn the palms over, walk the body and the hands back in and up. Inhale, cross your arms, separate then as they're overhead and reach up tall. Exhale, right hand outside the right hip, take a side bend over to the right, stretching that left side line up and open. How's the breathing? Back up to tall, inhale, both arms up, and exhale, side bending to the left, left hand outside the left hip. Again, anchor through the right sits bone, grounding before expansion. Inhale all the way back up to tall. Exhale, hands on the mat behind you, palms flat, fingers face your hips. Now intentionally roll your upper arm bones back. Feel the back upper spine push in and the chest open up to the sky. So you feel that little cobra action in your upper body. Draw your armpits up away from your thumbs. Big, big, big breaths here. Slowly come back up to sitting upright. One last time, arms forward and crossed and then separate. Inhale, reach up tall. Exhale, hands to prayer at heart center. Eyes closed, 2 cleansing breaths. View this as a way to say, whatever I don't need, I'm going to sigh it away. So big inhale through the nose, sigh it out, exhale. One more time, big inhale, sigh it out. And now the energy of the sigh will create the Om. Big inhale. That Om is the conscious gonging that says, I am in the energy state that is here and now. Slowly open your eyes. And let's all come to hands and knees on our mat. So when we're in hands and knees, our wrists are under our shoulders. Our knees are separated and underneath our hip joints. And you want to feel that you start in a nice, long, flat spine. So our tendency to hang in the low back means we have to maybe curl the tailbone under just a touch. The tendency to over-round in the upper back means maybe we have to feel the arm bones pull wide, the shoulder blades slide a little flatter on the upper back. Take a big inhale here, and as you exhale, curl your chin and tailbone under and look towards your navel, pressing your spine up to the sky, feeling the front body contract in as the back body opens. That's called angry cat, like that Halloween cat we've all seen pictures of. Now move forward to saggy cow. Inhale, your sits bones rotate up, your chest comes forward. Hold here for a second. Feel those arm bones really pull wide, the shoulder blades down the back, and the breastbone going forward. We call this saggy cow. Take an inhale here, and as you exhale, round back to angry cat. Tailbone and the rest of the spine to follow. Inhale forward to saggy cow. Try to move from your pelvis up the spine sequentially, opening up the heart. Exhale, angry cat. Tailbone, low back pushes up, middle back, shoulder blades apart, head and neck looking down and through. Inhale forward, saggy cow. Rotating pelvic bones over thighs, chest front. Exhale, angry cat. One more time, notice your breath. Inhale. Exhale. Come back forward to a flat back here. Go ahead and walk your hands about 3 inches ahead of your shoulder heads now, so you're not directly underneath. And let's go ahead and move our hips forward so they're no longer over our knees. Now we're going to move the hips to the right. Swing them back towards the back edge of your mat, making a big circling motion. Once you're as far back stretched as you can, push your hips left. Then stay to the left as you swing around and come back forward and center those hips up. So do a few more circles that direction, off to the right. So your hip joint is a ball and socket joint. So we want to make this circling motion so that we're getting inner and outer hips, inner and outer thigh muscles moving. Because many times as we walk around, we use it more like a hinge joint, just front to back, and we forget how important this circling motion is. When you get back up to the top, move to the left with your circles, so change directions. Again, you might notice one way feels easy and the other way has a little more challenge. Simply the patterns in your body, but then you can go, wow, I'm glad I'm doing some hip circles. I might open up the tight stuff a little more. And then when you get all the way back more centered, curl your toes, lift your knees, and come to downward facing dog. And instead of holding in a rigid downward dog, let's keep the movement element going. So pedal your knees and feet back and forth. Remember, muscle only moves as well as fascia has freedom to it. So let's keep the motion going through our joints and fascia around the joints that then helps to extend out to freer muscle motion. And everybody bend your right knee, sink your left heel down, and just pause for 3 breaths. So now you feel the back of that left leg stretching a lot. But notice I said sink, I didn't say push. You're never going to hear me say push, because when you push, your mind says aggressive and hard, and your muscle will tighten and resist that. Switch the bent knee and the straight knee, sinking the right heel now, giving yourself permission to keep the checking in with the breathing. Beautiful. Bend both knees. Inhale, go ahead and deepen the knee bend towards your mat. So, oh, way down there. Oh, there's more muscle that has to work. Now exhale, straighten the knees. Inhale, bend the knees towards the mat. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, bend the knees. Exhale, straighten. Hold the straightened leg. Inhale, just roll to the balls of your feet, but try to stay back in your downward dog so you feel the belly and inner thighs really drawing in and up. Exhale, lower your heels. Inhale, lift your heels. Knees stay as straight as they were before. Exhale, lower. Sink. One more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, sink. Inhale, lift and round forward to a push-up position. So it's like you go through angry cat to come to a flat back. Hold your push-up, wrists under shoulders, heels lifted, widening the arm bones, pulling the kneecaps back up into the back of the knee, feeling a good, strong low back. No sinking boats. Who's sagging? Get it up away from the floor. 2 more breaths. This isn't a warm-up, Briala, is it? Yeah. One more breath, big inhale, knees down, untuck toes, push your butt to your heels for child's pose, bum to heels. 3 breaths here. Two more. Last breath. And return to your downward facing dog. So before we get real linear, straight arms, straight legs, holding poses, which again makes our muscles go whang, I gotta jump in and get hard. Let's keep that motion going. Inhale, lift your heels, round forward to a push-up position. Exhale, lower all the way to the mat this time. Untuck your toes. Inhale, lift for cobra. Cobra is a bent elbow position, so pull your upper body up. Shoulder, arm, bones wide. Lift the chest through and lower down. And again, inhale, lift for cobra. Reach back through your little toes as your heart pulls front. Exhale, lower. One more time. Inhale, cobra. Try to relax the bum as you lift the heart and lower. Good. Go through child's pose, but instead of pausing there, go ahead and curl your toes, lift your knees, and right up to downward facing dog. Good. So those of you that have practiced with me before know that I really try to guide the practice from a natural motion of your joints and flowing energy to get you someplace instead of landing you in a pose and then hoping you can fix it. So let's feel some of that as we move here further. Inhale, lift your heels, bend your knees and elbows, Okay, hold. So elbow points are towards your knees. Anybody know that's where your arms should be in downward dog? Are they there? Are your elbows pointing towards your knees? Are your elbows bent? Does anybody feel their tricep muscles working? Oh, you don't? Should I hold you longer? Oh, that was a yes. Good. Back up to downward dog. Yeah. So we're going to do a lot of that today. So we might do, 5 chaturangas, but what if we did 25 of those? Inhale, lift your heels, bend your knees and elbows. Exhale, straighten and come back up. Lower the heels. Inhale, lift the heels, bend the knees and elbows. Exhale, straighten and lower the heels. One more time. Inhale, lift the heels, bend knees and elbows. Exhale, straighten and back down. There you go. You just did 5 chaturangas. How easy is that? Inhale, lift your heels, round forward to plank. Exhale, lower all the way down to the mat. Inhale through your cobra. Feel a nice easy motion coming up. Exhale, lower down. Curl your toes, pull your belly in and either push up on your knees or pick up your knees, push to a plank. Downward facing dog. Good. Now we're going to hold and take a few breaths in downward dog. Hands and feet are always the same distance apart as what you would be for a plank. So if you're not sure if your hands and feet are in the right position for downward dog, come to your high push-up position. Make sure you're setting up your feet and hands properly there, and then just flex it. You fold at your hip back to downward dog. There's your distance. Might feel like a stretch in the beginning, but the shoulders will start to accommodate more of that length. One more breath. Awesome. Walk your hands back to your feet. Find a ragdoll hang. Grab opposite elbows with the hands and sway around to right and left. Remember ragdoll, we want a bent knee, right? We're not at the place where we're trying to tug and hang off our hamstrings here. So bend the knees. Flowing breath. Side to side motion. Come to center. Relax the arms to dangle in the center and a couple easy head and neck circles both directions. Again, remember how much work those neck muscles do, supporting and stabilizing your head all the time. Good. Now come to a deeper knee bend. Good. And you're going to feel this motion from knee bend to knee straightening. Place your hands on your shins and inhale what I call wave up and out to a flat back. So your low back rounds as the knees start to straight, then your chest reaches forward, your sits bones lift up, and you'll be in a nice halfway lifted flat back. But it's less important if the knees straighten, and it's more important if the sits bones lifted and spread here. And bend your knees and lower and drop the hands. Inhale, hands on shins, wave up and out, long flat back, open the chest front. Exhale, bend the knees and fold. One more time, hands on the shins. Inhale, wave, roll the shoulders open, extend the heart, lift the sits bones up. Exhale, bend the knees and fold. Ragdoll hang, come to standing vertebrae by vertebrae, stacking that spine up one joint after the next. As you come to the top, pause here. Take a moment, hands on the hips, side to side motion one more time. Outer hip motion is really vital to getting flowing motion through the rest of your body. Good. Center the hips up over the legs. Arms in front. Inhale, cross. Reach all the way up. Exhale, hands to prayer. Stay standing. Pause. Close your eyes. Again, take a moment to check in. Is the crown of your head level and aligned over a level pelvic floor? The energy channel running between those 2 points is called Sushumna Nadi, the main energy channel of your being. We want to open that up fully. As you stand here, reflecting inward, take a moment to create a sankalpa, an intention for your practice today. We all show up for some reason, but we get to choose consciously what we would like to animate and put more energy behind in this moment. Maybe it's for this practice, maybe it's for your life. And it's always something that's in the present. So you would say something like, I am compassion. If you are animating and motivating more compassion in your life. I am love, I am health, I am abundance, or whatever works for you. Create that sankalpa, put your conscious power behind it. Slowly open your eyes, release your arms down, and I like to turn the palms forward because it turns my shoulder head open a little bit. That's called anatomical position. Take a big inhale through the nose, open the mouth, side out, exhale. And reaching forward, inhale, cross the arms, then separate, thumbs pointing back, chest up. Exhale, hands to prayer, deep knee bend, forward fold, hands touch down. Hands on the shins. Inhale, wave up and out to that halfway lifted flat back. Exhale, bend the knees and fold. Walk forward to downward facing dog. 3 breaths here. Breath and movement always linked. 1 more breath. Good. Inhale, lift your heels, bend your knees and elbows. Exhale, straighten and bring the right leg in the air as you straighten the elbows and knees. So you're going to see a lot of that motion today. Remember, elbows bend towards your hip pointers. Excuse me, dear. Okay, 3 breaths here. Left heel is up. Now you're animating the lift through that left shin muscle, the left kneecap, the left quad. Doesn't that feel good? Oh, you mean downward dog doesn't always get to be a resting pose? No. Big inhale here. Bend the right knee, round the plank, knee to nose in a push-up position. Chin under, armpits over wrists. Inhale, back to one-legged dog. Reach the leg up and back. Exhale, forward to plank, knee to nose, chin under, head under. Inhale, back. Reach that leg out. Reach it out. Left heel still up, knee to nose in plank. Exhale. Oh, you got 1 more. Big inhale. Step the right foot through to a lunge. Up to crescent lunge, high lunge. Inhale, cross the arms, reach the body, come all the way up to tall. Exhale, hands to prayer, hands to mat. Straighten the right knee. Take a forward fold over that straight right leg. Left heel is still up. Bend the right knee to a lunge. Inhale, cross the arms, raising up, crescent lunge. Lift up tall. Exhale, hands to prayer, hands to mat. Draw the right knee back to straighten that right leg. 1 more time, back to the lunge. Inhale, cross the arms, separate, reach, lift up. Here's your expansion. Exhale, hands to heart, hands to mat. Draw the right knee back and stretch the hip back away. Bend the right knee. Inhale, step to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. 1 more time to the floor. Inhale, cobra, open up. Exhale, lower. Good. Push up to knees or plank. Downward facing dog. Right away, inhale, lift your heels, bend knees and elbows. Exhale, left leg comes up as the joints straighten. Hold here, 3 breaths. Right heel is elevated. Right front leg muscles are creating uplift energy. Lots of poses we're just cultivating too much heavy down. 1 more breath. Bend your left knee, round the plank, left knee to nose. That was really good. Inhale, one-legged dog. Reach it up and back, stretch back, stretch back. Exhale, forward, knee to nose, chin under. 2 more. Inhale. Move forward, exhale. Inhale, up and back. Step the left foot through to your lunge. Up to crescent lunge. Inhale, cross the arms, separate, reach tall. Hands to prayer, hands to mat. Straighten the left knee, draw that left hip back. Right heel still elevated. Bend the left knee. Inhale, move forward and up. Crescent lunge, open, expanding up. Exhale, hands to heart, hands to mat. Draw back through the inner thigh, straighten the knee. And again, inhale, up to crescent lunge. Exhale, hands to heart, hands to mat. Draw it back, stretch over the leg. Bend the left knee, inhale, step to plank. Exhale, chaturanga all the way to the mat or halfway down. Cobra or up dog is back bend of choice. Use your abs, downward facing dog. It's like you round through an angry cat to go back to downward dog. 3 breaths here. One more breath. And again, inhale, lift your heels, bend knees and elbows. The right leg comes up as the joints straighten. Inhale, step through to your lunge. Back to crescent lunge, cross the arms. Inhale, rotate up, stay up, back knee bends, cactus arms, 90-degree elbow bend. Draw your right hip back, draw your left hip pointer forward. Take a few breaths here, pressing your collarbones wide to your elbows. Feel the inner thighs doing their job. Right inner thigh drawing back into the groin, left inner thigh drawing forward to the groin. How's your breathing? One more breath. Inhale. Exhale, hands to mat. Pause. Push off your back leg, float it in the air. Inhale, stand on the right leg at the head of your mat. Yep. Hips are squared off. So if you're not sure, peek back at your left foot. Is the little toe side of your foot perpendicular to the floor? That'll turn the leg more level. Getting those hips parallel, opening up the right rotator muscles in the bum. 2 more breaths, chest out, stretching the heart away from the back foot. 1 more breath, inhale. Left foot joins the right, deep knee bend, forward fold. Wave, halfway lift. Inhale, hands on shins, lift up and out. Exhale, deep knee bend and fold. Round to standing, ragdoll hang. Inhale, coming up, cross the arms, reach them up overhead, tall spine, hands behind the head, elbows wide. Take an inhale, drop your tailbone, then lift your ribs and side bend to the right without your hips going anywhere. So my right elbow points down, my left elbow points up. Inhale, back up to center. Exhale, side bend left. Anchor down through the left leg. Inhale, back up. Exhale, side bending right. Remember, you need a grounding to expand. Inhale up. Exhale, side bending left. Keep the tailbone heavy. Inhale all the way up. Reach the arms overhead. Look up. Hands to prayer. Deep knee bend. Flex at the hip as you forward fold. Hands down. Inhale, wave. Halfway lift. Hands on shins. Wave, extend out. Exhale, right foot back to a lunge. Up to crescent lunge, cross the arms, inhale up. Once you get to that end point, expand, reach, stretch. Back knee bends, cactus arms. Again, cactus is not, oh, wimpy arms. Power, right? You're in your center through your inner thighs. You're stable and grounded. Now go for the outreach. 2 more breaths. 1 more. Hands down, float the right leg in the air. This time, inhale, pushing off and reach it up. Again, level the hips, chest forward, right heel pressing back, but fingers stay on the floor. Why do we pick up the fingers? Because it lessens the stretch. Keep them down. Big reach. Is there power coming out of your right heel? Is there energy coming out the crown of your head? Beautiful. Right foot joins the left, deep knee bend, empty the breath and fold. Inhale, wave up and out, halfway lift. Exhale, step to plank, chaturanga dandasana, high plank to low or all the way down, cobra or up dog, even flow. Use your core, downward facing dog. 3 breaths here. Again, endeavor to keep balance in your practice. When you do that quick drop, chaturanga, push up, all of a sudden you're going, nope, I don't want to keep the balance. It's harder to stay even in your motion than it is to be jarring and fast. 1 more breath. Good. Inhale, lift your heels, bend knees and elbows. Exhale, right leg comes up as you straighten the joints. Now you're going to pause with the left heel elevated. Bend your right knee, lift your right knee, and take a twist of the right hip. Your right hip has lots of space, lots of motion and stretch. Keep the uplift through the front of that left leg. Level the hips, round the plank, right knee across the body to left elbow. So you're in a push-up, but you have a little twist, right knee across the left elbow. Inhale, back to one-legged dog. Exhale, forward to plank, right knee across the left elbow. Pull the belly in. One more. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, forward, knee across the elbow. Inhale all the way up and back, and step that right foot through to a lunge. Up to crescent lunge. Inhale, cross the arms, reach all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart, hands to floor, straighten the right knee, stretch that right hip back and hold now. So with the left hip heel elevated, draw back. So anchor your right big toe joint. Now feel like your shin muscle draws up past the knee, the quad muscle, your thigh muscle draws up to the outer right hip crease and it drops slightly out to the right there. Yeah, big stretch. You want to stretch by expansion, not by forced tug. How's your breathing? Oh, there's those hockey muscles. Beautiful. Inhale, bend your right knee, push the left leg to float the leg in the air, reaching all the way out, standing here. Exhale, both knees bend, left knee to nose, chin under. Inhale, straighten the knees, heart out, leg back. Exhale, forward, knee to nose. Straighten the knees. Inhale, reach it out. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, stretch it out one more time. Step to your lunge, step to your plank. Chaturanga. Cobra or up dog. Even flow. Downward facing dog. Only one breath. Big inhale. Deep exhale. Good. Inhale, lift your heels, bend your knees and elbows, and exhale, left leg floats into the air as the right heel stays up. Stay there, bend the left knee, lift the knee, take your twist. Remember, you're still in a downward dog. Downward dog has your shoulders squared to the floor, armpits squared to the floor, so that you do the twist from ribs down through hips and leg. Last breath. Okay, here we go. Inhale, forward to plank, left knee across the right elbow. Again, keep your chest squared, but twist from the hip and the leg. Inhale, one-legged dog, reach it out. Exhale, forward, bend the knee, and knee across the opposite elbow. One more. Inhale, draw up away from your armpits. Exhale, knee across. Back to one-legged dog. Step it through to your lunge. Up to crescent lunge, cross arms. Inhale, reach up tall, find that moment of expansion. Exhale, hands to heart, hands to mat. Draw the left hip back, straightening the left knee open. Again, right heel is elevated. So why is that important? Because we're using both front and inner legs to draw up into our core. Also, keeping the right heel up helps to square off the right hip. How's that breathing? Open chest, so front body as long as back body. Last one. Bend the left knee, float the right leg in the air, pushing off. Inhale, stand on the left leg, bend both knees, right knee to nose, curl the chin. Straighten both knees, inhale, leg out. Exhale, knee to nose. One more, inhale, and exhale. Inhale all the way out, front to back stretch, step to lunge, step to plank, and again, Chaturanga Dandasana. Even flow to cobra or up dog. Everybody use your core to go back to downward dog. 3 breaths. Okay, we're just through the warm-up now. 2 more breaths. Beautiful. Go ahead and inhale, lift your heels, bend your knees, hop to the head of the mat or walk there. Take a forward fold over. Hands on the shins. Inhale, wave to a halfway lift. Sits bones elevate and spread. Exhale, deep knee bend and fold. Good. Walk your feet to the edges of the mat so that both your outer heel and outer little toe joint are on the edge. Bend your knees deeply. Bring your fingertips to the mat. and bring your heart up so that both your hips and your heart are on the same flat level plane. So your back is like a tabletop. Okay? If hands on the floor means that you can't keep the spine level, then bring hands to thighs and come up a little higher. Good. Now, right away, sometimes, we might find that your thigh muscles have started to tighten up. Maybe they were already tight before you ever landed here. So your job is to say, relax around the knee, relax around the hip folds, the outer hips. Take some deep breaths. Quads get a break. Chest out, 3 more breaths. You can do it all in your quads, but I guess by now they're starting to fatigue. 2 more. So maybe pick some other muscles to join in. 1 more. Elevate your hips forward, fold over. Pedal your knees back and forth a few times. So there's ways to use our body that we keep recruiting lots of muscle instead of isolating and overloading 1 or 2. And that's the balance of our motion in our body. Good. Bend the knees again. Inhale, arms forward by your ears. Stretch front to back. Once everybody's there, 3 breaths. So if you're there for 25, you can blame it on somebody else. Good. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more. Inhale. Exhale. Push to standing. Inhale, arms up, heart up. Nice tall spine. Exhale, hips left, side bend right. Right arm to the outer right thigh. So bring that right arm down. Feel that motion through the left sideline. Back to center, both arms up, hips in center, and hips to the right, left arm outer thigh. Get that big lateral stretch to the right sideline. Back up again. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hips left, right arm down, side bend. Keep the tailbone pointing down to the floor. Last one. Inhale, up, arms up. Exhale, hips right, big side bend over left. Inhale, back up to tall arms, up, lift the heart. Hands to prayer, deep knee bend, forward fold over, hands touch down. Inhale, wave, halfway lift. Open it up and out. Exhale, step to plank with your feet on the edges of your mat. Feet wide apart in your plank. Hold the high push-up. You can always do any of the things that we do in a plank with knees down. Remember to customize your practice to what works for you. Strong belly, big inhale. Halfway to the floor, only a 90-degree elbow bend, elbows hug the ribs. Inhale, push it up. Exhale, halfway down. Inhale up. Halfway down. Inhale up, fold back to downward dog. So I think Lisa told me that we like to do power vinyasa here. Is that it, Lisa? Yeah, are we getting there? Okay. If it's too light, tell me. I'll just keep loading up and going, okay, guys, let's challenge for fun and more. Big breath. Good. Inhale, lift your heels, bend your knees and elbows. Exhale, right leg in the air. Good. Inhale, bend, step through to a lunge. All 4 joints bend, they straighten, you step through, cross the arms. Inhale, crescent lunge all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart, hands to the mat. Pause there. Everybody step your left foot 4 inches forward on the mat. Good. Bend your right knee. Inhale up to crescent lunge. Cross the arms coming all the way up. Exhale, cactus arm, left knee halfway to the mat or lower if it's appropriate. Tailbone heavy. Yep. Left inner thigh drawing up. Right inner thigh drawing back. Both ending in the groin and deep low belly. 2 more breaths. 1 more. Now stay there, but inhale, arms straight up. Hands straddle the right foot on the mat. Walk your left foot back a little bit. Take your right arm straight out front past your right ear. So to the head of the room, to the front of the room. Good. Inhale, sweep the right arm up to the sky. Turn your heart to the right. Look back. Exhale, swing it down and around and back forward again. Inhale, rotate up and around, getting the shoulder girdle moving. Exhale, forward. 1 more inhale. and exhale forward. Now inhale up to the ceiling and pause in your twist. You should feel like your arms are in a T position, right? Left hand is your anchor, your grounding, but the left armpit pulling away from the hand is your expansion. So have your contact, but if you lean heavy, then you're just grounding and there's no oppositional force to expand. How's your breathing? 2 more breaths. Right hand inside right foot. Everybody quarter turn to the left, face the bathroom wall with your feet wide apart. Check that they're parallel, heels slightly wider than the toes, and deep knee bend in the center. We're going to do what I call ninja lunges, so side to side motion. So with the knees in a double bend, go ahead and lunge more to the right. The right knee bends more, the left knee straightens. Now come back to both knees bent in the center and then do the lunge to the left. Keep going back and forth on your own, going through the double knee bend in the center. Feel those adductor inner thigh muscles starting to move. Keep the feet in parallel and the outer edge of the foot on the floor. So turn. There you go. When the feet are turned out, you're getting inner hamstring, not adductors. 1 more breath, back and forth. Come to center. Inhale, round your body up. As you come up, straighten the knees, cross the arms, lift the arms all the way up overhead. Turn your right foot forward, your left heel back, open to side warrior. Arms out to T. Keeping a sense of the weight even in the middle, ribs over hips. Inhale, straighten your right knee, arms up overhead. Exhale, left arm to the back thigh, side bend over to the left, stretching that right sideline again. Inhale up to center, both arms up. Back to side warrior, right knee bend, arms open. Inhale, straighten the knee, arms up. Exhale, side bend left. Ooh, get a big stretch, strong straight left knee. Inhale up, arms up. Exhale, side warrior, and hold your side warrior. Your drishti, your focus, your gazing point is your front middle finger. Again, anchor through the back leg. Every standing pose, the most important leg is the back leg. Weight distribution into it. That's your grounding. Collarbones wide. Nice pointing of the tailbone down. 2 more breaths. That's a girl. Now take the left hand to the sacrum, the fingernail side of the hand to the sacrum, right arm to the sky, and inhale, reverse your warrior. That's a side bend to the left, over that left thigh again. Exhale up to side warrior. Stay inside warrior. As you inhale, lean and reach forward like a diagonal lean of your spine. Exhale, right forearm to the right thigh, left arm to the sky. Sweep it past the left ear and inhale past the front of your body all the way down. Rotate the arm down and around. Exhale up to side warrior. Inhale, reverse warrior, left hand to sacrum, right arm up. Take a side bend to the left. Back to side warrior, arms out. Inhale, lean and reach forward. Right forearm to the thigh, left arm past the ear. Inhale, sweep the arm past the front of the body, rotate around. Exhale, back to side warrior. 1 more reverse warrior. Inhale, hand behind. Lift up and open. Exhale, side warrior. Lean and reach all the way out. Forearm to thigh, left arm up or over. Remember, if you go over the ear, we're going to hold side angle now. You want to drop the left shoulder blade down the back. Then you rotate the forearm so that the palm faces the floor, and with the shoulder blade down the back, we use our tricep muscles, our upper outer arm muscles, to stretch the elbow shape. Right, Alex? Yes. If you have that right forearm on the thigh, remember, we're not leaning. Oh, yes, we are. 2 more breaths. Remember, grounding and then expansion. 1 more. Look down, hands frame the right foot in lunge. Inhale, step to plank. Chaturanga. Cobra or up dog. Downward facing dog. When did you think the vinyasa was going to feel like the easy part? So there's such a freedom to flowing motion, but we also have to learn the stillness to ground and expand when we're holding a pose. Again, finding the balance of both, because those are our moments of our life show up. Sometimes we're moving a lot, sometimes we're still. Last breath here. Inhale, lift your heels, bend your knees, look front, step or hop to the head of the mat. Soft knee, take a forward fold. Wave up and out. Inhale, lift the sits bones, then push the heart out, open the chest. Deep knee bend, forward fold. Good. Now separate your feet about 4 more inches apart, but make sure they're parallel. Good. Inhale, round up to chair pose. So the same rounding, cross the arms, then extending the arms up and out. Good. Again, a little soft bounce up and down in the knees. Tell those thigh muscles just above the knees. Relax, guys. Got lots of other muscles to help participate. 3 breaths here. Chair pose. How's your breathing? Calming your nervous system. Keeping the balance. Samavriti breath, even in and out. Inhale, push the tall arms all the way up overhead. Exhale, go ahead and bring the side bend again. Hips left, side bend right, but keep the arms by the ears this time. So tailbone down, arms by the ears, sideline stretch on the left. Hips go to center, inhale back up. Exhale, hips right, ribs up and over to the left, arms reaching out by the ears. 1 more set, inhale to center. Exhale, hips left, side bend right, open up the lateral lines. Back to tall inhale. Exhale, hips right, side bend left. Inhale all the way up, open the heart, look up, hands to prayer, deep knee bend, forward fold over, hands touch down. Inhale, wave up and out, long flat back. Exhale, step to plank, chaturanga. Again, cobra or up dog. Downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your heels, bend knees and elbows, straighten and the left leg comes up. Inhale, bend again, step the left foot through to your lunge. Up to crescent lunge, inhale, cross the arms, reach tall, find that moment of expansion. Hands to prayer, hands to mat, and pause. Step the right foot 4 inches forward. Good. Bending the right knee as you come up. Inhale, cross the arms, come all the way up to tall. This time stay here, but deepen the right knee, bend halfway down or more, cactus arms. So the shorter stance makes it a little more challenging. Would you agree? Yeah, why is that? I don't know. She's like, I don't know. All I know is I'm breathing. I'm breathing. But are you having fun? Oh, good. 2 more breaths. Strong inner thigh lift to inner belly lift. 1 more breath. Stay here, but inhale, arms straight up. Hands to the mat, framing the left foot. Pause. Step the right foot back again to normal lunge. Left arm forward by the left ear. Reach it out to Harrisburg Pike in front of you. Inhale, lift the arm up, turn your heart to the left, swing it around, past the left hip, down through the thigh leg and out. Inhale up, circle the heart to the left, bring the arm down, around and out. 1 more time. Inhale, circle, rotate around. Exhale, down, reach it front. Inhale just up to the sky now and take your twist to the right. So I often am asked, why do we do all this circling and motion and before we go into the pose? Because what you've done is freed up all of the stickiness of the fascia and the joints, and then you arrive and you land there more naturally aligned. Again, right hand is your grounding anchor, but draw the right armpit up away from it. Strong right knee, 2 more breaths. Left hand inside left foot, quarter turn to the right, and wide feet ninja lunges once again, back and forth on your own. Remember, feet to parallel, heels out, so that you get adductors and not inner hamstrings. I'd go even a little more. There you go, good. Double knee in the center. I know it's easier to straighten in the center, but try to keep the knee bend through the center. And come back to the center, double knee bend, okay? So feel the spine now parallel to the mat, okay? So ribs and pelvic bones on the same plane. Inhale, arms out to T. Soften back in the hip fold, soften forward in the knee fold. 3 breaths here. 2 breaths. Relax the quads. Drop the hands, then round to standing. Inhale, curl, cross the arms, lift up tall, knees straighten. Exhale, arms to T, left foot forward, right heel back for side warrior. Left toes and foot forward, right heel back, side warrior. Feel that feeling of side warrior, weight in through the back right hip, right leg, outer right foot. Now straighten the left knee, inhale, arms up overhead, lift up tall. Right arm to the back, outer thigh, side bend to the right. Inhale, back to center, arms up. Left knee bends, back to side warrior. Inhale, straighten the knee, arms up. Side bend right. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, side warrior and pause. Looking to the front, middle finger as your gaze point. So why do we have dristis? Because if we stop the eyes searching out beyond us, we tend to focus more inward. This is a practice about you. So give your full attention to what is happening in this moment within yourself. Wide collarbones, right collarbone to right middle finger, left to left middle finger. Right hand to your sacrum, left arm to the sky. Inhale, side bend right, reverse the warrior. Exhale, back, your arms out. Lean and reach all the way forward, side angle, forearm to the thigh, right arm to the sky. Sweep the right arm forward, inhale, past the front body, rotate it around, come back up to side warrior, arms to T. Hand to the sacrum, inhale, reverse your warrior, side bend right. Exhale, up to side warrior, arms out. Lean and reach all the way forward, left arm to thigh, right arm over, sweep it around the front body again, back to side warrior and up, and reverse the warrior one last time. Inhale, side warrior. Exhale, lean and reach forward, side angle pose, holding the pose now. So again, you can have forearm to thigh, you can have left arm outside the left thigh, hand to a block or the floor. Right shoulder blade drops down the back, so if you want to angle that right arm past the ear, you do it with good external rotation. Try not to hang out in your hips. Use your inner thighs, supporting up into your core. 2 more breaths. That was great, yeah. Look down, hands frame the left foot, step to plank, big inhale, chaturanga. Again, cobra or up dog with evenness of flow. Downward facing dog, 5 good breaths in downward dog. Feel free to have some knee bend if it helps to accomplish allowing your spine to lengthen further back and your sits bones to lift and elevate and spread a little more. That's the bony bone at the bottom of your pelvic bones. Last 2 breaths. Good. Inhale, lift your heels, bend your knees, look front, step or hop, walk to the head of the mat, take a forward fold. Inhale, wave up and out, halfway lift. At that final moment, your sits bones are stretching back, your heart out. There's your big stretch. Now deepen the bends and fold. Good. Walk your feet about 4 inches apart. Round your way, wave your way up to chair pose once again. Inhale, cross the arms, lift all the way up. Beautiful. Feel the weight drop a little heavier into the left foot. Inhale, bring your right knee to your chest. I didn't say change your spine. I just said bring your right knee to your chest. Set the right foot down. Inhale, left knee to your chest. Exhale, set it down. Right knee to your chest. Set it down. Left knee to your chest. Set it down. Inhale, straighten the body, arms up. Stay standing, hands to prayer at heart center. Close your eyes for just a moment. Drop into the flow of the breath, giving it space and a moment to even out if that's what helps the flow come back. Maybe drop back into that intention, that sankalpa. Put a little bit more conscious power behind that here in this moment. We all reach a moment in our practice where we start to really feel the cumulative challenge. But isn't that like your day or your week or your month sometimes? So when you arrive at that place, what do you do with it? Do you get frustrated and just give up and walk away? Do you stay, turn inward, calm yourself, see the challenge, but appreciate the opportunity to work within that challenge? 2 more breaths. Open the eyes, release the arms down. Good. Bring your feet closer together again. Make sure they are parallel. Again, that's super important for how you're going to work the leg and the hip muscles here. Okay. Inhale, cross the arms, reach them forward and up. Stay standing as you exhale. Bring your right knee up, hip height in the front of you if you can. You decide. Okay. Feel the really strong power that you're asking to come into that left leg. Your left leg is very strong. So let your left inner thigh draw up. Let the back of your left hip drop down. Left hip, left hip. 2 more breaths. Now, either simply by placing the foot or using your hand, bring your right foot inside your left inner thigh for tree pose. And if you use your hand, that's absolutely fine. And then return the arms up overhead, growing very tall, using the oppositional forces in your body. Remember, we ground before we grow. So this is called tree pose. So what does a tree do? It roots deep into the earth before it ever tries to get tall. So let the weight drop through your back, hip, hamstring, calf to heel. Then grow tall through the left front and inner leg, inner belly. Sushumna Nadi energy channel through the spine, out the crown of the head, the fingers. 1 more breath. Hands to prayer, right knee forward, and lower the foot. Pedal the knees and feet back and forth. Inhale, cross your arms, reach forward and up overhead. Pause here, make sure the right foot is forward. Feel the weight dropping more into the right leg. Lift the left knee up in front. Simple pose, but simple is not always easy. To bring it into a pose that's offering balance through the body, the energy, the tissue. Down the back is our grounding. Up the front is our uplift, expansion. Placing left foot on the inner right thigh. You can go below the knee joint if that's a better choice for you, but I avoid pressing the foot on the knee joint itself. Once you're ready, arms expand back up. Again, be a tree, rooting down, bones, back, body, tissue, reaching up. Front thigh, inner thigh, deep inner belly, Sushumna Nadi energy through the spine to the crown of the head. Gazing points are super important in balancing poses. 1 more breath. Pause, hands to prayer. Left knee forward. Place the foot down. Pedal the knees and feet back and forth. Release the arms down. 1 big cleansing breath. Inhale through the nose, open the mouth, sigh it out, exhale. Arms cross in the front. Inhale, cross, separate, lift the heart up. Hands to prayer, deep knee bend, forward fold, hands touch down. Hands on the shins, inhale, wave up and out to that halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, step to plank, hold your high push-up. Hold your high push-up. Step your big toes together. Inhale, heels turn to the right, left arm to the sky, side 1 arm plank. Please know that the option of the right knee down is always available. Okay. If you would like to place that left leg in tree pose here, like we just did standing, because this is tree pose. Doesn't it feel the same? Oh. How does a pose change when we add different weight distribution, when we recruit different muscles in different ways? 2 more breaths. If the leg is a tree, gently extend it out. Everybody left hand down. Big inhale. Exhale, lower to the mat. Good. Reach your arms back and interlace your fingers behind your back. I like to start with the bent elbow. I point my index fingers to the wall behind me. Then, with the elbows, with the wrists a little closer, and the index fingers point, Then I use my upper arm muscles to stretch my elbows straighter. So bring your shoulder heads back away from the floor. Stretch the elbows straighter. I know you're always going to hear a teacher say this, relax your butt. Sits bones come under the smile of your butt. You don't squeeze up into your low back. Every option other than compression is a better option. Here we go. Inhale, lifting the heart up. Reaching those little fingers to the wall behind you. Bringing the shoulder head out wide. Pressing toenails down. Reaching through little toes. How's your breathing? Please don't lose the breath. Nothing is worth that. One more. Lower down. And bring your hands by your ribs. Gently move to child's pose where we'll hold for 3 breaths. And one more breath. Come up to sitting on your heels, bringing your body upright. You can always have a block underneath you if that creates a better option for knees or hips. Now go ahead and once again inhale, cross your arms, reach them forward and all the way up overhead. Exhale, hands on the floor behind your toes on what I call Durga paws, powerful energy paws, fingertips. Fingertips facing the toe side of your foot. Inhale, roll your shoulders back. This time, lift your hips up. You're doing just a half camel-shaped pose. And exhale, lower your hips down to your heels. Inhale, lift back up. Keep your hands where they were. Hips away from heels. Open the front thighs and the chest. Exhale, hips to heels. One more time. Inhale, lift it up. Expand. Open the front body now. Exhale, hips to heels. Inhale, lift it up, and stay there. The tendency is, once again, to go to our thigh muscles, but that's counter to what we're trying to do here. So use your shins and the tops of your feet to root you down, and then see if the thigh muscles don't give you a little bit less over tense and control. Armpits lifting up away from the fingertips. Ground through the hand, expand through the arm. 2 more breaths. Lower hips to heels. Walk your hands forward and come to downward dog. Feel free to pedal the knees back and forth or hold downward dog for 3 breaths here. Samavriti breathing, even inhale to fluid and even exhale. One more breath. Lift your heels, round forward to a push-up position. Step your feet closer together. This time heels spin to the left on the mat for side one-arm plank. Right arm up. Again, the option of having your left knee down. Do what feels appropriate for your being. Go into tree pose with that right leg if you would like. Bottom left hip is pushing up into the outer right hip. So stay up high. Draw the left armpit up away from the left wrist. Straighten the right leg out if it's in tree. Take a big inhale, everyone. Exhale, come to plank. Open up your collarbones and lower all the way to the mat once again. Second time, second set of fingers on top interlaced behind your back. So if you don't know, just clamp your hands together and then switch the fingers that are on top by walking over one. Point the index finger so the wrists come closer together. Bring the shoulder heads wider and then try to use your triceps to straighten your elbows. Again, remember what the pelvic muscles are doing. Inhale, lift up once again. This time, if you want to raise your feet, feel free. But again, it's about getting as much length through front body and back body as you can. But if the length is coming by sacrificing the low back, think less about height of the feet away from the floor and more about reach of the feet away from your hips. 2 more. Here you go. Big inhale. Gently lower down. Bring the hands by your ribs. And once again, 3 breaths in child's pose. And again, slowly sit on your heels or a block, bringing your body upright. Cross the arms forward and up. Big inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, once again, hands on the floor behind your toes, coming up onto Durga pause. Okay. You want to start by getting that big lift of the armpit up away from the thumb, the widening of the upper arm bone, the shoulder head. Big inhale, and as you exhale, lift up into Ardha Ustrasana, half camel. If you want to slowly walk your hands more towards your feet, coming up into full camel, feel free to do so. But again, remember, it's about the entirety of the back body creating the back bend, and the entirety of the front body creating the stretch. Last 3 breaths, whichever version you're in, feel the breathing. Top of the feet pressing down, shin bones pressing down. 2 more. 1 more breath. Gently lower the hips. Start to bring the hips back, the head forward. Sitting on your heels or blocks. Hands on your thighs. Close your eyes. Even out the breathing. Notice how the rhythm and flow of your breath is truly guiding the calmness, the evenness, the flow of your body. Or the panting, panicky breath will send that same message into how your nervous system guides your muscles and movement. Eyes open and return to downward facing dog. And let's try to be very conscious that your downward dog feels balanced, feels expansive, but yet grounding through the heels. And that doesn't mean the heels have to touch. It means there's a weightiness going down through the back of the leg. But there's an uplift at the same time through the front of the leg, through the inner thigh, ending up again in that deep pit of the low belly, in and up. 2 more breaths. Walk the hands back to the feet at the back edge of the mat. Place your fists between your big toe knuckles, about 2 fist distance apart with your feet. Take your peace fingers, that's your index and middle fingers, and hook them inside and to the inner big toe joint. Okay? Now everybody bend your knees forward. Bring your heart forward. So try to get your heart away from your thighs and your knees for a moment here. Right there, if your knees are bent enough, you should be able to feel a little inner rotation of your thigh bone and outer spread of your sits bone. Now keep your chest forward, so you're not trying to press your chest to your thighs. Start to lift your inner thighs up, pushing your sits bones higher to the sky. It spreads the back of the knee open versus jamming it back. And whatever point your hamstrings and inner thighs say, that's enough, listen to it, and then let your head relax. But don't try to tug your body over tight. The more you round your middle back, the more you take the challenge out of the hamstring. How's your breathing? Feel like your hips are lifting up and forward over your ankles versus your knees and hips jamming back behind your ankles. Last 3 breaths. One more. Beautiful. Slowly release the fingers, bend the knees, softly hang in your ragdoll. Good. Go ahead and bend your knees a little deeper. Inhale, cross the arms, wave up and into that chair pose one more time. Good. Last 3 breaths in chair. Chair has a length to the low back, a softening into the hip fold, a softening into the knee fold. One more breath. Hands to floor, lift the hips forward, fold. Hands on the shins, inhale, wave up and out, halfway lifted back. Exhale, take your dog for a walk. Downward facing dog. Let's go ahead and inhale, lift the heels, bend the knees and elbows. Exhale, bring the right leg in the air as those 4 joints straighten. Inhale, bend again, right leg through to pigeon pose. I had this message just vibrating into my head. We want pigeon, we want pigeon. Was that the right message you all were sending me? I knew it. Okay, so what are we doing in pigeon pose? Remember, alignment, positioning of bones determines what your tissue will do. So your right knee is slightly wider than your right hip. Sometimes we like to put it way out to the side. If that's you, maybe sneak it in a little more. Keep yourself coming upright on your Durga paws, right? Durga paws don't let you just hang out. Grounding energy is great, but if there isn't that oppositional uplift, even grounding can become something that isn't balancing us. Okay? Feel your right inner thigh. Feel like it draws the tissue into your right groin. Your left inner thigh draws forward into that left groin, so you feel a squaring off of your hip bones. Lifting your heart up should make you feel a nice stretch in your left front thigh, left front hip area. 2 more breaths here. Careful not to take it into your low back. So turn that leg. There you go. Now sit over there. That's it. Right down there. Good. Keep your hands on the Durga paws. Inhale, lift your heart up. Exhale, bend your elbows, melting your heart to the floor. Then round and let your forehead drop down. Now round back up. Inhale, coming up. Straighten the elbows. Lift the heart. Exhale, on Durga paws, bend the elbows. Melt the heart. Drop the head. Round back up again. Inhale, like a waving motion through the spine coming up. Exhale, melt your heart. Lower down. And now either put your forehead on a block or stack your fists and put your forehead on the top fist. So many times we want to put our head down on the floor, but by dropping our head lower than the rest of our spine, we take ourselves out of the change in the pelvis that we're looking for. You feel the upper right thigh dropping open a little, the left upper thigh rounding forward and in a little. And then you're simply allowing your weight to drop back into the pelvic area. Relax the top of the left foot, toenail side on the floor. If you tend to sit into your right buttocks, try to shift a little weight towards that left hip. Three more breaths. And I didn't say it, but you always have the option to come onto your back, doing what we call figure 4 pose or baby pigeon, lying on your back. In that case, your right ankle would be across your left knee and your left knee is bent. If you would need that help, please just always give a high sign to myself or Kelly and we'll come right over and help you find that shape. Same effect. One more breath. Slowly bring your body upright, but pause there. Now you're going to start to sit onto your right butt cheek, turn your left leg open, and you'll find yourself kind of turning diagonally towards the left corner of your mat. Your right knee will be bent, your left leg will be straight. Right heel somewhat towards your pubic bone. Turn your leg all the way over the left leg so that the leg is just straight out to the side. And then you'll feel more evened out on both butt cheeks. Try to feel the sits bones down, right? So heel is in, left thigh is out. Try to have the left toes and knee pointing up to the sky. Good. And once again, crossing the arms forward and up. Inhale, lift all the way up to tall spine. Exhale, open your arms to T. Now you're going to rotate your ribs to the right a little, like your heart's turning towards your right knee. Then you're going to lean and reach out to the left, coming way out to the left. And you're either going to hook your peace fingers inside that left big toe. You're going to grab your left ankle or your left shin. Now turn your heart up to the ceiling a little bit so you get that chest open. And now the right arm comes over past the right ear. Yeah. Keep turning the heart to the sky. Grounding through the right sits bone. That's your anchor. So this right sideline gets a chance to really find the expression of a stretch. How's the breathing? One more breath. Inhale, come all the way up, arms overhead. Again, arms to T. Now you're going to turn and look at that right hand. Reach it forward, put it down on the mat diagonally out. Inhale, lift your hips up, standing on your right knee and the pressing of the left foot down into the floor. Left arm can be to the sky or out past that left ear. Try to point your left foot directly out from your left shin and press the little toe side of the foot down. 2 more breaths. Inhale, sweep the left arm forward past the front of your body. Lower yourself back down onto the mat. Good. Go ahead and bring both knees together, setting your feet on the floor. Put your forearms in front of your knees. Drop your head and round your spine like you're making a nice little rounded ball of your back. Take a breath or 2. Lift your head. Quarter turn to face the front of your mat. And right up into Navasana boat pose. Yes. That was a Megan request, I know it. I heard it from your head. I heard it. Your brain said, boat pose, boat pose. Knees can be bent. You can hold behind the thighs, hands out, or hands can support behind with the knees bent, right? All kinds of options. No sagging boats. Lift it up. 2 more breaths. What'd you say? Come on, up, up. 1 more breath. Don't sink, don't sink. Inhale, cross your ankles, feet down, step your hands in front of your feet, step to a plank, roll over those hips, step to a plank, and either fold to downward dog or vinyasa your way there, your choice. Yeah, no sinking boats, huh? Take some breaths here. Again, Samavriti breathing, even fluid breaths. Inhale. Followed by exhale. Last breath here. Inhale, lift your heels, bend your knees and elbows. Exhale, straighten as the left leg is lifted up. Inhale, bend all 4 joints, come through to pigeon on the left. Again, left knee slightly wider than left hip. Inner spiral, rotate forward and around the right thigh and the hip. Try to have both hip pointers squared up, facing to the front edge of your mat. Up on your Durga paws. So again, energetically grounding down through your fingers, uplifting through your arm lines. And that then travels through that right front hip and quad. Block under that left thigh is always an option that can help even you out a little bit and support you where you need that support. So remember, we have things like blocks and straps as tools to assist us to support or help find alignment, which then promotes us balancing out our systems. But if you use them beyond the point of necessity, now that tool has become a crutch. So you may need or use a block for a while, and then you might suddenly find, nope, we don't need that tool anymore. 2 more breaths, lifting up, left thigh rotating out, dropping just a little open in that outer left hip as the right thigh drops in forward and around. Inhale, heart lifts up on your Durga pause. Exhale, melt the heart to the floor, elbows bend, then let the head come down and drop. Round back up, straightening the elbows. Inhale like angry cat, round, then lift the heart. Exhale like saggy cow, melt it down. 1 more inhale, round and wave and come all the way up. The uplift is here. Exhale, melt coming down. Stack the fists, second fist on top or block, and find your pigeon pose. Again, evenness of spine. The other value of having your head supported above the floor and in line with your spine is the forebrain is the part of the brain where all of our daily chatter goes on. Ooh, those forebrains. So when you let it touch down energetically, you start to tell it, quiet, soften. Right now, the monkey mind is what I'm trying to learn to move away from. I want to feel the life in my being. I want to sense my energy, my tissue, my heart, my being. How many moments of your life do you remember because you were totally present? Last 3 breaths. Slowly round your body back up, coming back up onto the hands. And now we're going to quarter turn a little bit to the right, sitting on the left butt cheek, then coming over and sitting on the right as we turn that right leg over so the toes and the knees point up to the sky. Left heel is folded in somewhere in the vicinity of the inner leg or pubic bone. Again, grounding down through your sits bones for the anchor. And now inhale, cross the arms, reach up, lift up. Exhale the arms to T. Ribs do a quarter turn to the left. Lean and reach out to the right. Grab shin, ankle, or peace finger hook of the toes. Pause there for a moment. Rotate the heart around towards the sky. And then as you exhale, left arm out past the left ear, or it can stay to the ceiling. Or you could even grab the right big toe with the left hand if you want. Austin went, what? How's your breathing? Are you in a place of challenge but balance? Last 2 breaths. Returning upright, arms up, inhale. Exhale, arms out. Look to the left hand, reach out diagonally, placing the hand to the floor. Press the sole of the right foot down, lift your hips up, inhale, standing on the left knee. Right foot pointing the same direction out diagonally as the shin. Right arm to the sky or over. Again, ground through the left hand, but lift up through the left armpit. The oppositional forces are always there for you to use. 2 more. 1 more breath. Sweep the arm down past the front body. Slowly lower your body back down. Body likes to move in circles and spirals. That's where we cultivate a sense of flow, like the ocean. So we can do, but whew. And go ahead and bring your feet together on the floor, hands in front, drop the head down, little rounded body. Take a breath or 2 there. Lift your head, turn forward. What, Megan? Did you say another boat pose? All right, Megan asked for another boat pose. Hey, this is Megan. Get her when the end of class is over. Come on, boat pose. Bring it up. Stay in your practice. Stay present. Oh. Hint of a smile is always nice. 2 more breaths. Keep the body up. Hug your knees to your chest. Gently roll down on your back. Gentle rock of your knees side to side. Feet flat on the floor. Heels aligned with sits bones. Any version of bridge, half wheel or full wheel that you would like to do. If you need support with any of these, again, a little high sign, a hey, oh, come help me, we're here. Hands by your ears if you're doing half wheel or full wheel. Remember, you want to keep your feet parallel to one another. You want to keep your thighs parallel to one another. So as you come up, it's a full front body stretch. Coming up, you want to drop your shoulder blades down your back. You want to stand on your legs. So every back bend is a leg pose. Standing on your legs. When you're up, 5 to 8 breaths. 5 to 8 breaths. Remember the full Samavriti breathing. 5 to 8. When you're ready, slowly, mindfully returning to your mat. And once you're down, don't rush. Feet to the edges of your mat. Knees drop together in center, so your feet are wide, your knees are touching. Right hand on your physical heart. Left hand on your spiritual heart, your hara, which is at the V-notch of your ribs. This is where all energy and life emanates from. When you are an embryo in the womb, this is your true center. And your growth comes out from that center. And eventually you come out and then you unfurl, and this is the center point where you unfurl from. So this is the hearth of life and of being, where your spirit first entered that physical cell that would become you. So we touch in, we remember that at our true essence, look at your body under a microscope, your tissue, it's a cell. Take that magnification lower, it's an atom. Take it even lower. And all being, all physical energy releases to nothingness, and that is your spirit. So this is a practice to move your spirit, to inspire it, to infuse it into every one of those cells that you physically hold in your being. And the body is a vehicle to let you walk this journey. How do you walk it? From your heart? From your head? From your love? From your fear? You get to co-create your life. Whatever you want, it's in your hands. Release your hands, walk your feet closer together, and let's all just come into happy baby pose. So I know we can do shoulder stand, plow pose, all those things. Sometimes it's nice to end with a little bit kinder, gentler inversion. So happy baby pose is an inversion. Your legs are upside down. Hands across the top of the foot to the little toe side helps to keep your feet squared up. Sole of the foot to the ceiling, little toe side of the feet parallel to one another. Knees bent in a way that you try to keep your ankle over your knee, so that there is an offering of your back getting a stretch, your hamstrings lengthening, breath flowing, rocking side to side. Feet to the floor. Walk your legs out to straight. Shake the legs out, shake them out, shake them out. Let them flop apart. Arms to the ceiling, shake out the wrists, the fingers, the shoulders. Let the arms come down by your sides, palms facing up. Ideally, that's your anatomical position. That's the way your body most naturally wants to open. Settling in now, letting Mother Earth support you. So keep noticing every exhale, allowing the back heart to melt to the floor. Surrendering into the weightiness of your bones through your flesh. An ease around the back of the knees. The hip pointers allowed to melt away from each other. You have received whatever it is this practice was meant to receive, you to receive, very personalized. And sometimes we go, well, what was I supposed to get out of that? That's your head jumping in. Trust the journey of the heart. We'll know what it is that you were meant to undo. Our practice of yoga is an undoing of all that blocks us from our wisdom of knowing our true divineness. Om Guru Brahma. All those that show up in our life as teachers in the beginning. Om Guru Vishnu. The teachers that sustain us, that keep us moving. In those moments we need that little push. Om Guru Devo Maheshwaraha. Ah, the teachers that come around just when we think we have it figured out, and they shake it all up and break it apart and show us it's time to begin again in a new way. Om Guru Sakshat, the teachers of truth. Om Param Brahma, the teachers that are form and formless, the space, the energy, the above, the below. Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. May I trust and believe in the love and the divineness within myself. Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha.